Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Quadra's podcast. Today we are coming to you all the way from Semarang, Central Java, and today we have a very special guest with us. She graduated from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, USA, and upon graduation, she worked in the US for about 6 years in various established architectural firms. And because of her love for her home city in Semarang, she came back to set up a architectural firm called Tamara Wibowo Architects in 2015. And ever since then, business has been great for her. Today, we have the pleasure of her company in our Quadra podcast. So, without further ado, I'll introduce you to our guest, Ibu Tamara Wibowo. Hello, Ibu. Welcome to our podcast.
Hello, Pak Willie. Thank you for having me here.
Great.
Today.
It's great to see you. Just as an introduction to our audience, before I ask you these 10 difficult questions, right? Tell me a bit about your career here for the past 6 years, how you started, and a bit of your job reference and all that.
Okay. I got the opportunity to build my own house back in 2013, and it's finished in 2015. And it was actually probably why I decided to build my own firm.
Okay.
Because first of all, maybe the house that I designed actually had a pretty good response, because I really relying on how the architecture relate to the nature around it.
Okay. So you combine a lot of nature into the house, yeah?
Yes.
Because one of your quotes would be like, architecture is not just about looking good from the outside, but it has to add value to the inhabitants in the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, the architecture has to live in the environment.
Right.
So we cannot just make a box and that enclose everything from the outside.
Wonderful.
So after that, then I decided to have the firm in 2015, and without any current existing project actually at the time.
Okay.
So I just hired a couple of people and decided to have a studio.
Oh, okay. But it's been great ever since, because your name is booming. All right. Now, next question. Now, perhaps we go a bit on materials. Have you heard about sintered stone before?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about sintered stone compared to porcelain, ceramics, or even marble?
I know that sintered stone have a bigger slab.
Right.
320 by 160. That's the biggest slab that I know.
Right.
It's more stable. Like it's not porous like the marble, so it doesn't absorb stain like what my clients always complain about using marble. And it's also resistant to UV light.
Okay.
So when you put it close to the sun, it will not become yellow.
Yellowish. Okay. So in fact, sintered stone is quite applicable to some of your housing designs, right?
Yeah, it's actually becoming very popular.
Okay.
Yeah, like before, clients probably want to use more marble.
Right.
But now they move to sintered stone mostly.
And sintered stone can also be applied on tabletops, kitchen tops, and all that, right?
Yeah. I use
because
that
of
quite a lot.
porosity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in the kitchen, yeah.
Especially the kitchen.
Yeah. Because when you stain coffee or tea, it will not affect the surface.
Okay. Now you mentioned about size, 320 by 160. Now, is size becoming a common trend today, that people are looking for bigger and bigger slabs to decorate their space?
Yeah. Because if it's bigger, we will need less joint between them, and also for aesthetic, it looks better. With a bigger slab, we can continue the pattern more. I believe some of them have 6 different types of patterning.
Okay.
So they will continue nicely in
the beans can go from left to right and all that in that pattern, right? Good. Now, of course, being an architect and all that, most architects will want to design very exclusive housing and all that, and choose the best material and all that. But of course, at the end of the day, there's a balancing factor about pricing. Now, comparing sintered stone, ceramics, and natural stone, do you think sintered stones are expensive?
Not so much, yeah.
Oh yeah?
I mean, if you compare statuario real marble and statuario sintered stone, I believe it is way cheaper.
Way cheaper,
Yeah,
right?
way cheaper than the real marble.
Okay, okay. It's more affordable.
Yeah, yeah. And
but,
more accessible.
More accessible, but despite all that, it maintains the quality and the pattern aesthetic and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Maybe the last questions that I have would be, today we see a lot of imports from outside. And in actual fact, there are local manufacturers here in Indonesia that can produce sintered stone. What are your thoughts about this? Should we cinta Indonesia, buy Indonesian product, or do we say no, we want to import the products from outside? Well, what are your thoughts on that? If a customer asks you, where should I get my sintered stone, or where should I get my materials? What are your thoughts on that? What would you advise them?
Of course, from local,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cinta Indonesia gitu.
Cinta Indonesia, of course. Because we can produce good quality of products, and especially at this COVID time, it's the shipping is really hard from all over the world. So we don't have to wait like 3 to 6 months to get the materials come. So it's productivity of the projects will be delivered quite well. So
having a local product enhances your availability, right? Things can be delivered to your project on time, on a timely basis. It is not so expensive also, comparing relatively. And of course, it's of good value too, in terms of application because of its non-porosity and all that. Great. Okay. Anything else you want to add, Ibu Tamara?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I said before, the client wanted to use sintered stone more than marble these days. So I would, and also you guys have a lot of pattern that we could use. I actually used quite a lot of cement.
Okay.
Yeah, and
which can be seen here in this background, right?
It's
really beautiful, very classic look, natural.
So yeah, I mean, because with cement, especially, if you produce it manually, it will be less reliable in terms of the results, because it cracks and the surface sometimes not quite uniform as we would like to. So since sintered stone have that option too, it will be a really good option for using a real cement.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time,
Yeah.
Tamara.
Thank you so much for having me here.